So I'm Dennis Orey with FoosFit. A lot of people ask me all the time, can the FoosFit really play defenses from live matches, or how do you do it, or just general questions around that. So figured, hey, let me just show you real quick, like what's that? What is that all about, right? Well, when you're actually in FoosFit and you're in playback, you'll see in the options window you have all these matches here, right? So how do they get there? Where are they created from, right? Well, there's a software called FoosTrack that I wrote a couple years ago, and it is the actual software that uses a thing called computer vision to do the conversions. It's pretty detailed, intense, but without going into a bunch of detail, I'll give you just a basic idea. As you can see here on the screen, it's tracking on the left side the play figures, and then on the right side, it tracks the ball, and then it marries that data and creates the FoosFit data, which is loaded into your FoosFits and actually plays it. So how does it do it? Well, you log in. Right now, I'm logged in as my favorite dummy user called Greg Go, and I'll go to my projects, and I'll just show you an example. So here's the project window. Right now, I have like number three is Nationals 2023. I'm not sure if this is the actual video. I think it's the right one. Sometimes I change them out and stuff, but just an example anyway. But this is Yor and Moreland and Balcos and Mares playing. So you would basically create a project here, which I've already done, and then you have to load a video. Sorry. Uh, you would load a video to the software. You just select your video. In this case, it's loaded right here. So actually, this one that's loaded is Yor and Moreland and Brandon and Moore. So it's not the actual one on the title, but it doesn't matter. So um, then you click your tool, your little wrench here. It's going to bring you into the project. And the idea is that here's the video that's loaded. You would select in the video where you want to track. So like you basically find your game, like game one starts here, ends here. So you find your start and your begin time. So like if you said like 1 minute, 9 seconds, you do like a start there, and then you find the end of the game. You say end time there, then you save your project. Now, it gets pretty tedious, I'm not going to lie, because you have to set up your table configuration. That's very easy to do when you have a really good video with the right angle, the right lighting. If you don't, I can make a pretty crappy video work, but it does even take me a long time to do it. And I understand what the software is looking for. But the idea is that you would set your table edges. So like you would assign your edges. Basically, that just means come here and click your four dots like this. I'll just show you real quick. I'm not going to do everything, but so you'll find your table edges like that. You see the red around there, and then you hit apply. So you would do the same thing with your rods. And once you do all your rods, goalie, two rod, whatever, and you select what side of the table the yellow's on or the black. Now we can do different tables too, like Bunzini or whatever. Um, but we just mostly do Tornado because that's what I play on. That's where I have access to the most videos. But if it was a different color, then you would obviously have to select a different one here. But and then there's all these settings, but the idea is that you now the software is tracking colors, right? So it's actually looking for yellow, it's looking for black. And the way it does that is it uses its HSV color mapping, and you can tweak it too. So if you have like a bad yellow, like a dark yellow, bright yellow, because what your human eye sees and what the computer sees is different, right? So you can actually assign, and this is like just an example of how it's doing it. Like right here, it's showing you what it's picking up. Everything that's painted blue right now, it's saying, hey, see, like even here, if you look, it's not finding that yellow because that yellow, maybe it's too bright. Maybe it's in the shade of white, so it doesn't find it. Now that all can be adjusted using this color mapper here. You can uh, you can tweak these dials and you can find this is just helping you with a representation of what it's showing you all the places on the table that found yellow. And it's showing you here exactly where they were, right? So I'm not going to go into all that detail right now and bore you, but the idea is that you would find your color mappings, you signed your table, right? And now you have to do the same thing for the ball. You have to tell it where's the ball at on the table, right? You're not really saying where the ball is. You're saying, given the ball of this color, uh, what is that color exactly, right? In the tornado, it's a pink color. So if I was to come here And like here's ball color adjustment, right? You could say assign, and then you could search. Now in this case, for tornado, the color on the tornado symbol in the middle of the logo here is actually very close to the actual ball color. So when it shows that it found this, that's actually a good sign because that means it's searching for the right color, right? There's a lot of ways to do this, but I'm not going to get into all that detail. But bottom line is you track your play figures, you track your ball. You also assign the area on the table that's considered, like right here, it says left goalie. Well, the left goalie region is all this little area right here, right? Because the ball is moving around the table, and you have to tell it. When you're in this area, we're in the goalie area. When this area, we're in the 5-row, right? And then you would hit process basically, right? I'm just going to give you an example. If I hit start, it's going to start processing that video. It's showing you right now what's happening. It's if you don't see the little P on the top of the man you expect to see, that means it's not tracking right. There's a problem, right? As you can see right now, all the P's are on all the men. That means it's successfully tracking the play figures. And right here, now this is the ball. You see? I'll show you here. This is the ball tracker. And it's showing you that the ball is currently unknown because it just got scored on right there. So when they start the next cycle, like here's an example, there's the ball there. Must have got thrown off the table. It says it's in the right goalie rod, right? I define it by region, but you can actually define two rod goalie, but it's unnecessary. So right now it's in the right goalie rod. So if they were to shoot it, this thing will change here. Now, the idea is that once it's all done processing, it will pop up a series of things saying, where do you want to save this data? And then once the data is saved in your computer, you will have to do two last things. You'll have to render it with this little tool here. That just basically allows you to assign like who's the forward on the team, who's the goalie, right? So yeah, if they switch a lot, then you could run into problems. But like here, you said, oh, Tommy, yours the forward on the left side of the table, and Brandon Munoz is on the right. He's the forward here. What's happening is it's going through the ball track data and it's saying as the ball is moving around, who has it right now, right? Does this goalie have it? Does that goalie, does this 5-row guy have it? Right. And that allows when it marries the ball track data with the FoosFit data, it allows it to name assign it. So when you search for it in the FoosFit data later when you're playing your actual FoosFit devices, it can do that, right? So um I don't want to get into all the details, but so basically, once you do the render, you put all your files here that it picked up, you put it here, and this is where you actually create what I call FoosFit ready data. You would select like goalie, and then over here, it'll actually assign the player. So in this area, once once these files are loaded right here, it'll pick up those names now because you rendered it, right? So you'll be able to click it and it'll instead of saying no name, it'll have like Tommy Yor, Brandon Moreland, whatever, uh, Ryan Moore. So you would select it and then you would say render file. Now it's going to create you what's called a FoosFit ready file. I'll give you an example here. Um, like of course I have this right in the way here. Okay, that's funny. So like game one, it'll create this file called FoosFit ready. This is the actual file. This is called game one output, all rods, Jacob Valkos, right? That's just an example I pulled up. But you would take that actual file and load it into your FoosFit and you do it. In this case, you'd use the database. I'm not going to go into all this, but you would use the database, you'd pull up the criteria and you would say load CSV and it pulls it in, right? And what you see here and the options is exactly that. That's the data that was pulled up. So if you were to select one and say load attempts, what happens is when you go to your playback control window, there's the attempts, right? These are the actual defenses that were shot in that game or that match or whatever. You would select them, it'll load it to your FoosFit, send it there, and then you hit play and boom, you're off to the races, right? So there's a lot of detail left out here. but I just wanted to show you really quickly um, how you would take a video, load it into FoosTrack, process it, load it into FoosFit, and play it. Now, the angle of the video is important, the lighting, the quality of the video. I would recommend not doing anything over 30 frames per second. Yes, we can process 60. The amount of data is really large. The processing time is for what you get out of the video at the end of the day, um, meaning when it actually converts to FoosFit, the level of quality doesn't change much from 30 to 60. You like it's negligible difference that you'll see. So it's not worth the extra processing time. So I had people asking me about FoosTrack, and so I wanted to make a quick little video about it. I'm going to make a really detailed one on somebody who wants to use it because we allow FoosFit users to create their own FoosTrack data if they want. But it does take somebody that has a little patience. So if you don't have any patience, it might not be for you, but we can convert it for you. We thought about doing that where we could do like a fee, send us your video, we'll convert it. I don't know if I have enough time in a day to do as much as I would probably get in. So um, I'm not saying I won't do a few for some people if you really want to do it, but the idea is that you could actually go to your local DYP or you could carry a camera around with you, like a little, you know, MP3 or your video camera with a tripod or something. You could film your matches for the weekend. You could go back, load them all on the FoosTrack, load them into the FoosFit, and you could shoot on those guys who were blocking you, right? Man, this guy was giving me a lot of trouble. I was just couldn't shoot on this guy. What was going on? I wasn't seeing the hole. Well, man, you can actually shoot on them, right? You could take it to your local DYP every week. The local pro there, he gives you a lot of trouble. So you film all your matches against him. And then it's a representation of the real defense, right? So sure, after you've seen it 10 times, you're like, oh, I found the hole I can shoot. Of course. But what did you miss in the match, right? And now practice. It's much different shooting on a still defense. All of a sudden the men start moving and the patterns are changing, and then you have to figure that out in 10, 12, 15 seconds, right? So it changes things. I can see the defense 5 times, of course, right? So get on your Foos fits. That's FoosTrack. Y'all have a good day. Thank you.